Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Thermaltake Element T case. This mid-tower ATX case is currently available only in a black color. It's mostly steel except for a plastic front bezel. At the top there's honeycomb ventilation and a red LED 200mm exhaust fan. Conveniently located at the top is a power button, reset button, two USB 2 ports, as well as a headphone and microphone jack. There are 3 external 5¼ drive bays and 1 external 3½ drive bay, and each drive bay cover has a dust filter. The front panel can be very easily removed by pulling at the bottom. Inside the front panel is a dust filter, and optional fans can be added. Either 2 120mm or 2 140mm fans or just one 200mm intake fan can be installed. Note the added ventilation on both sides of the front bezel. The left side panel has lots of honeycomb ventilation and one optional 120mm or one optional 230mm intake fan can be installed. Note that the right side panel doesn't have a window, ventilation, or fans. At the back of the case, they include a motherboard's I/O shield plate and one 120mm exhaust fan. There are 2 punch-out holes for a water cooling system's tubes to pass through, and at the bottom is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed. They also include 2 thumb screws on each side panel. The left side panel can also be secured with an optional lock. This case also includes a mouse and keyboard security bracket. The mouse and keyboard cables would pass through this bracket so they can't be stolen. This case fits standard ATX and micro ATX form factor motherboards. And since this is a mid-tower case, there isn't a lot of room to work on the inside, and unfortunately the motherboard tray is not removable. There's a large hole on the motherboard tray, which allows access to the heatsinks or water blocks mounting hardware. Since many new heatsinks and water blocks require mounting hardware to be installed on the back of the motherboard, this hole means that you won't have to remove the motherboard if you wish to remove or replace the heatsink or water block. This is extremely handy and an enormous time saver. Up to 6 hard drives can be installed, and one has a toolless design. Note that one of the 5¼ drive bays also has a toolless design. Note that this case fits 10.5" long consumer level video cards. There's a power supply rest for the power supply, which can be repositioned depending on the length of the power supply. At the bottom of the case there's lots of honeycomb ventilation for the power supply's fan, but no dust filter. There are also 4 plastic feet, but silicone or soft rubber would have been preferred because it has better anti-vibration properties and won't scratch the surface. Finally, have a listen to the stock cooling. This is clearly a budget case, but if you're in the market for a very affordable mid-sized tower case, I would recommend checking this one out. Now, while it doesn't have a black interior and it doesn't have all the fans you need, you can install optional fans, and this case does have fantastic air circulation if you do that. Also, there are plenty of drive bays, and the overall look and design of the case is really good. Overall, this is a great product. Until next time, take care.